Not long ago, most people thought that logging in Oregon was primarily clear-cutting Douglas firs and hauling them to the sawmill. In reality, today's Oregon tree farmers cultivate a wide variety of trees and take advantage of a diversity of marketing opportunities.
This area that we're looking at right here had a heavy concentration of juniper in it. As a matter of fact, you were unable to see through the trees because of the juniper. And we came in here a couple years ago and harvested all the juniper that was in this timber stand. We were able to send the juniper to market at the local mill, and it was a very worthwhile project, both for the condition of the forest and also there's a pretty good coupon there for the sale of the juniper itself.
We've planted multiple species on this property. These are Valley Ponderosa pine. Bob Maley gave me these seedlings. I decided I'd plant them on the tree farm.
There's neighbors all the way around this property, and to go in and clear cut it all at one time will create friction with some of the neighbors. So a lot of times, like on this, we've left quite a few hardwoods standing, oaks and maple trees that we've cleaned out all the brush and left the big tree standing, and we've planted conifer all back through it and letting the conifer grow up, and so, you know, it won't be so aesthetically changing for the neighbors.
Residual old growth on the place. One of our special sites is to go up to the biggest tree and take people up there, and they're pretty amazed by it. So my neighbor, Mike Atkinson, he estimated it's 275 years old just by similar trees in the area that he's counted the rings on. It's 74 inches in diameter and about 240 feet high.
You see juniper, and again, very little grass or anything else on the forest floor. There are pine trees. You can see some pine trees scattered up in there, but it's predominantly juniper, and it's barren. And then as you look below the road, the only difference between above and below is below the juniper are gone. If you get the juniper out and wait a year or two, the ponderosa begin a natural rejuvenation. And it's almost better, in my opinion, to just leave it the way it is, because we'll end up with a more diverse age class, which is part of our management plan. We've got some nice older trees, some nice older seed trees. There's a little plant right here, a newer ponderosa right here in our foreground. And if I look out through there, I can see other just tops of little trees beginning to come up.
When we fall one tree, we have about 3 different markets for it. The butt log, the one that sits on the stump, will go for export. Sometimes they'll go for peelers. They're a high quality log. The next log up, where you start seeing all the branches, that's usually a domestic saw log. And then as you get near the top, that could be another saw log, but eventually it gets too small and that becomes your pulpwood. So one tree can end up going to 3 different buyers.
We also have a number of oak, Oregon white oak. We're also on the very north edge of the California black oak. So we have black oak here, which is seems unusual according to some of the foresters I've talked to, and also, of course, the Oregon white oak. This is California black oak, what you can tell from the leaf, where it has sharp points. Bark looks a little bit different. It just has a different appearance. The white oak has some linear striations, and this is more like a puzzle. Back in 78 and 79, it was recommended just cut out all the oak and grow fir trees. It's of course not our recommendations anymore. We're trying to preserve the oaks, at least the, broad, open crown white oaks.
We have a thinning operation demonstration today by the Melcher Logging Company, and everybody's really enjoyed watching the machinery work.
I found a market for bundled firewood and downed and unmarketable timber. We go ahead and first preload these baskets with wood, trying to make them as tight as possible. Once we get them loaded, we go ahead and stick them over in the wrapping machine. Drop the tray out from underneath and grab a label. Go ahead and start it wrapping. And we end up with a bundle of firewood, nice and square, very appealing to the eye. The long butts here are pieces off of the ends of logs, but typically you'll have broken pieces out in the woods where trees have been felled over stumps. Those are some of the pieces we also utilize that would not normally be utilized for commercial use. This is another product we produce for the Oregon Woodland Co-op, is kindling made out of cedar. Cut down, very good for starting fires.
This weighs 200 pounds. This is a 4-year hybrid poplar that we thinned out at the stand down by the well house, and it was cut and kilned or just dried out in the sun. We peeled it as soon as we cut it, and we've been experimenting with cutting the poplar into different lumber products. And of course, you can buy a piece of poplar board in Lowe's for, it's pretty expensive per board foot, $2, $3 a board foot for poplar. So like, it's actually used in poplar in furniture building. And of course the poplar plantations, everybody has seen those on Highway Interstate 84. They originally started that for paper, for fiber, and then when it got sawlog size, they went, whoa, guess how much you can sell this? And they actually built a sawmill in the middle of those 22,000 acres of poplar. So there's a market for poplar, and we're thinking about expanding our poplar plantation